Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new Minecraft video. I am Baker, and today I'm going to be exploding some things. I want to try out a new TNT mod that I found, so let's get right into it. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today I am playing the TNT modded TNT Minecraft. First, we're starting off with these explosions right here. It's called a stick of dynamite, and they're so fun to use. It takes a second for them to blow up, but let's say that I have a friend on here. Say that this is your noob friend's house. All it takes is one piece of dynamite and the entire house is gone. They do more damage than regular TNT does, and there's no limit to how much I can throw. Now, if I go super high up, they start blowing up before they hit the ground. But let's try out some other TNT in an area that isn't blown up yet. Let's start out with the Sonic TNT, which shoots out a giant shockwave that sends you flying. It actually sends you pretty far. Now, here's for the fun ones. This is one of my personal favorites. I call it the Boogie Bomb. The Minecraft Boogie Bomb. Goes up into a disco ball. And it's disco time. One of my personal favorites. Because I like all the different colors and stuff like that. But to get into some more, let's say that I'm in survival mode and I damage myself. This TNT brings you back to full health no matter how low you are. So I can just continue to jump off and off, doing more damage to myself. Then I just come over here and heal all my wounds. Next up is the Gravity TNT, which sounds like it is. It takes away gravity and takes you pretty high up, about the same amount a choker would. Now let's heal ourselves. Okay, now on to the Polar TNT, which is very dangerous because it takes every mob and makes an ice block around them, which means if I break it, water flows out, meaning if you're stuck by yourself and you're in the middle of it, this is what happens. Now I am stuck inside of an ice block and I'm drowning. Even if I try and break out, I'm still going to take some damage by the time I get out, if I can even get out. So it is very dangerous, and it doesn't matter what mob it is. If you notice, this block wasn't here before. That's from the armadillo. Luckily he was fast enough to escape it. Alright, now let's heal up. Did not mean to start a forest fire. Okay, now that I'm full health, let's try to find another mob to use that on. Okay, now let's go ahead and use it on this chicken. There's also a chicken over there. But let's see how frozen he is. See, now he's stuck in a block of ice, and he'll take damage while he's in there. But I don't want him to die, so be free, little buddy. I just wanted to test it out on you. Okay, for the next is the polar opposite of ice, which would be lava. The lava TNT basically makes a giant bubble of TNT. Oh, taking damage. Let's see if I get it on time. Nope, I died. But as you can see, the lava TNT makes a giant ball of explosives, or of lava. Ow. And even if you're super far away, it still does quite a bit of damage. But if that were your base would be gone. Alrighty, up for one of my personal favorite TNTs. It is basically a firework TNT, but it is called the Rocket TNT. It goes up into the air and explodes like a firework would. Let's light a few of these up. They explode like a bunch of fireworks, which is very cool. I think you could use that in a lot of ways. But up next is the Nether TNT, and my llama friend here is going to be my test dummy. So basically blows up into a giant ball of fire, and anything in the nearest vicinity is on fire. In fact, all of this is on fire now, and leaves a ginormous crater. Now let's have a little bit of fun with this. Oh, I guess I killed a brown sheep over here. Let's have a little bit of fun with this. I want to light up an entire beach, because one will light off the others. Let's see if I can escape. And they're flying away, setting off even more fire. But the entire beach is now currently on fire. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when you light off 24 Nether TNT at one time. So it does quite a bit of damage, but I know a TNT that does a lot more. So let's get into it. Okay, the next TNT is the Lucky Block TNT, which can be good or really bad. Like that. Well, and then it can be good because it has a bunch of fish in it. Now let's try another one. And it's a giant thing of TNT. Oh, and I died. Okay. So the lucky TNT can either be really lucky or really unlucky. Let's try to get something lucky. Sometimes it'll drop armor, or it'll drop random blocks, which are really cool, like honeycombs, gilded gold, cherry planks, and some stuff from the underground. So, a bunch of cool different things. But let's get into the next, which you already seen was the toxic TNT, which leaves a big explosion and nuclear waste. It's basically a nuke. If I get close to it, it poisons me and does quite a bit of damage. Now you could set this up in your friend's base, and it would be horrible because as soon as they walk into their base, it would be poisoned. Now let's get into the next TNT, the Shockwave TNT, which I think has the coolest animation and leaves a perfect circle every time. This is personally one of what I think is the coolest. It leaves a perfect circle, which can be really good for building, especially if you want to build a perfect circle. But let's get on to the next one, which is the Earthquake TNT. Now I think a lot of you are going to really like this TNT because it rips apart the ground, which could be really cool for a survival idea. I challenge you guys to try and build a base and then use this TNT on your base and see if it survives or not. You see all that damage, the floor basically falls out underneath of you, which is very interesting. Because you never know. Oh, and I died. So you never know what block is going to break and where you'll be safe at. Now, the trap TNT does not need anything to light it. It is simply, if I walk up to it, it then explodes, and even if you try to hurry up and run through it, it does not matter. As for it explodes. There is no running past it. I've tried. I guess I can if I place it when I'm running, but if it's already placed, there is no running. See, even one block brought me down to half a heart. Now for the next TNT, I think that this TNT is very explosive. So I'm gonna go somewhere that I have not gone to. I'm going to go over to this beach. That way we can get a clean slate. Start over. Now guys, if you like these TNT ideas and like the different modded videos, please leave a like and I will try to do more in the future. I will continue to do the 100 days videos, but I also want to add in some other things so that way it's not being boring and always just being the same thing. I want to add in, I want to be different from other creators. I want to add my own sauce to it, if you know what I mean. Now this next TNT, as you might have seen, blows up, and then the next 4 tiny blocks also blow up, which does a lot of damage, especially if there's more than one, because that is now 12 mini TNTs on top of the 3 regular TNTs. It does, in fact, a lot of damage, but not as much damage as this next block, which I will do underneath the tree, just so you can guys see how much of the tree it gets rid of. And even though I ran from it, there was nowhere I could go. It simply doesn't matter if you run from this or not. It is a black hole. So it sucks everything nearby into it, and there's really no running. I really like this TNT. It does a lot of damage, and if you want a lot of blocks, it leaves a lot of blocks left over. But it'll also get rid of your friend's base, and it'll get rid of bedrock. So it does a lot of damage. Let's try and suck this guy into it. And there he goes. Gets eaten by the black hole along with us. Except I survived, he did not. But you see the amount of damage it does. It even draws in water. So it does a lot of damage. Now for the next TNT, the second to last TNT. We have one more after this, and it'll be the most explosive. But before that, we have this one, which I still think does a lot of damage. So let's see it. And I was that far away and still died. Now let's try it over here. So even if I die, I just respawn right here. Blows up, and you see the amount of damage it does. It even blew up the area where I spawned. So that's fun. But it does a lot of damage, and if you add multiple of them together, they do a lot of damage. Do you see that? I respawned and still almost died again. So it digs a really deep hole and does a lot of damage. Now let's get into the next video, or into the next TNT, which will be our last TNT for this video. It is called the Colossal TNT. Now this TNT very well could break the server, but for you guys, I'm willing to do that. So this is the TNT you guys have been waiting on. There's an actual warning on it, do not do this, and it's set up like a nuke. Has wires going into it, and a be warned sign right there. So it means you probably should not light it, but I'm going to. Now this TNT takes a good minute to explode, but once it does a lot of damage. And that's a lot of damage. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the amount of damage that it does. It literally cut off the water right there. And if you can tell, even from back here, the most of the ground is missing. Now I know that there was some explosions here before, so I'm going to take you to a new area just to show you that that was not from other TNTs. That was simply how strong it is. I'm going to go ahead and light it and then run as far as I can. I still think I'm gonna die, but that will be okay. Okay, so we are far away. I guess there's an explosion right there, so we will go up here. And for the sake of it, I'm going to light off 2 at the same time. Now, there's no explosions over here. No previous damage, so let's see what it can do. Now I'm going to run for my life, and let's see if there's still an island there when I get back. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is the explosion from 2. In fact, it lags so hard that the explosion ended up hitting over here. Like, I was sitting in this tree so I would survive, and it still blew up this block and all of these over here. This was not here before, And the giant hole in the ground definitely was not there before. So this TNT definitely does a lot of damage. And in fact, if I lit off more than 2, it would probably stop the game. So let's see if I do 3, how big of an explosion that will be. Now I'm just going to do it over here. 3 separate, right next to this cow. Let's see if he can survive it. Now let's run. Oh, I got tagged. Oh, and I died. Oh, that's lava right there. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now you can definitely tell there was a mountain here. At one point, there was definitely a mountain, but other than that, it's really gone, because over there, connected to over here, there was no water in between here, but there's simply no mountain here anymore. We blew it all up. So that was the last TNT, but I want to go off with a bang, so I have one more explosion for you guys. I just got to get out of this hole. I'm trying to do parkour, which is not my forte, but once I get up here, we can do one more explosion after I show you guys exactly how much of this world is actually gone now due to that TNT block. So you remember what it looked like before. It blew up all of this area. This whole mountainside is gone. That whole mountainside is gone. That whole mountainside over there, gone. All the way to reaching to that island over there is gone. Now for one more explosion, and we're going to go out with that. So I'm just going to set it off right here, because why not? Now, ladies and gentlemen, I am Mr. Baker, and have a safe, fantastic rest of your day. Leave a like and subscribe.